In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the fuel filter on a 2008 Harley Davidson Road Glide. These are the tools I'll be using to replace the fuel filter on a 2008 Harley Davidson Road Glide. Got a 3/8 inch Craftsman ratchet with a flexible head. Got a Craftsman screwdriver, Craftsman Phillips screwdriver. Got a Pittsburgh 3/8 inch socket, 12-point socket with a 1/4 inch drive. Got a 1/4 inch Craftsman ratchet. Got a 6 inch 1/4 inch extension. It's a Craftsman. Have a Stanley combination wrench 7/16. Have a Craftsman hex bit socket. Size is 5/32, and I have this homemade cam ring remover and installer. First thing you want to do is remove both saddlebags. Next, we need to remove the seat, and to get the seat off you need to unfasten one end of this strap, and there's a Phillips screw in the back you need to remove. And then gently lay this on the other side of the bike, and then remove the Phillips screw. And lift the back of the seat up and push the seat back, and then you can lift it off the bike. This bike uses a fuel injection system, and what that means is that the fuel supply is going to be under high pressure. If we don't get rid of that high pressure when we remove the fuel line, fuel is going to spray all over the place. So the way that you purge the fuel line is you remove the fuse for the fuel pump, start the bike, let it operate until it dies, then operate the starter for about 3 seconds to remove any remaining fuel. To remove the fuse for the fuel pump, remove the left side cover. Now open your fuse box and find your the fuse for the fuel pump and pull it out. Now start the bike and let it run until it dies. Now the fuel supply should be under low pressure, and now we want to pull the big fuse called the maxi fuse out, and just to disconnect power to all the electrical systems on the bike. And then after you do that, you can reinstall the fuse for the fuel pump. This is the maxi fuse. Now to get to the top plate where the fuel filter is at, we need to remove this center console that's on the gas tank. And the way that you do that is you need to remove the fuel cap. There's a hex bolt in front you need to remove, and then in the back here there's the bolt right here that you need to remove. Then you can lift this off and set it aside. So remove the front hex bolt. Remove the gas cap. And remove the bolt fastening in the rear of the console. Now we can lift the console off the tank and set it aside. Next, you want to get yourself something to cover up your gas tank just to protect it in case you drop something. And you also want to get yourself a siphon. You can pick these up at Walmart, and you want to siphon out as much gasoline as you can out of the fuel tank. And then after you do that, you're ready to remove this ring here, which is called a cam ring. This whole black piece here is called your top plate, and it's secured to your gas tank using this silver ring, which is called the cam ring. We need to remove this cam ring, but before we can do that, remove this hose and set it aside, and depress this lever here and pull this electrical connector off, and set that aside just to get it out of the way. Next, take a rag and clean this top plate off the best you can. Helps if you have compressed air. Just kind of get any dirt and debris that's on it out of the way, because when you remove the top plate, that stuff can fall into the gas tank. And now we're ready to remove the cam ring. Harley Davidson recommends using a special tool called a cam ring remover and installer, and what it is, it's a round metal tool that fits over this cam ring, and it makes contact with these tabs here on the cam ring, and then you able to connect a 1/2-inch wrench ratchet to it and turn this cam ring to remove it or install it. If you could find a piece of PVC pipe that has an internal diameter of a little over 5 inches, you could probably easily construct something that will fit over this and get this off. Some people will take a punch and a hammer and tap these to turn the cam ring. However, I don't have any of those things I just mentioned, but I do have a tool that I made right here, which is I'm going to use to place over the cam ring like this, and I'm able to turn the cam ring to remove it. With the tool I made on the cam ring, I can attach my 3/8-inch ratchet, hold this down, and turn the cam ring counterclockwise to remove it. Now you can see the cam ring is no longer locked onto the fuel tank, and I can lift this off and set it aside. Now with the cam ring off, again, check for any debris, dirt that may have been under that cam ring, and blow it off and get it off of this top plate so it doesn't fall into the gas tank when you remove it. Now I can lift this off of the gas tank, and it's kind of tight. You got to kind of work it out. There's 2 fuel lines attached to this top plate, and also some electrical connectors, so I'm just trying to get it into a position so that I can remove those things, and then I can completely remove the top plate from the gas tank. Okay, on this top plate there's an electrical connector right here that I need to remove, and this ground wire I need to remove, and then further inside there's a couple of fuel lines that I need to remove, but I'll get to those after I remove these electrical connectors. This connector is latched on right here. It's kind of difficult to get off. I'm going to use a little screwdriver to unlatch it, and then just tug on it and to get it off. Always be careful when you're dealing with this kind of stuff, because this plastic can break, and be careful about dropping anything into the fuel tank. You just gotta kind of pull. That's off, and then this ground wire is latched also onto this top plate, so I'm going to use this screwdriver here to just press this tab in, and then I can pull it off. Next, I need to remove these 2 fuel lines. Remember that the fuel line with the lighter collar is at the end, and the black one is further in. And I have disconnect tools for fuel injection fuel lines, but they won't fit. I can't get them to fit in here to release these collars. So what I'm going to do is gently use a screwdriver to depress these collars and work the lines off. Just be very careful not to break anything. You're dealing with plastic here. So just depress the collar and gently pull to work the line off. And then the second one. And then we can remove the top plate and get it on a bench to work on it. Now with this top plate out of the bike, we can replace the fuel filter. The fuel filter is in this housing right here, and to get this off, you simply pull this back right here, this locking clip, and pull this off. Then you can pull these two apart, and then there's your fuel filter. Now I'm going to take a small screwdriver and gently work the fuel filter out of here, and take that out, set it aside. Take my new fuel filter. First I'm just going to make sure, verify that it's the correct size. Compare it to the old one. And reinsert the new fuel filter. Then with every new fuel filter you get an O-ring. I'm going to replace the O-ring. Put the new O-ring on. And then I'm ready to reassemble. Then to reinstall this thing, you just press these together. Make sure that this lines up. And reinstall the clip. Like so. And while you have this top plate off, there's a seal here. You want to inspect that for any cracks. If you see any cracks, you need to replace it. And now we're ready to reinstall the top plate. Now to reinstall the top plate, you need to fish out the two fuel lines that you removed. Remember, the lighter color one goes at the end, but you can't really get that wrong because they're different size fuel lines, so they'll only go on one way. And you just want to reinsert, push the fuel line on, and then just make sure it clips into place. It doesn't come off. And now we can start to insert this and next reinstall these electrical wires. Okay, the electrical connectors just clip into place. You just want to make sure that they're latched and secure. And after you get that one on, reattach the ground wire. And there's a little tab, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, there's a little tab on this ground wire, and you want to make sure that it latches so that the ground wire doesn't come off. And that goes right in here. And then just give it a tug to make sure that it's latched into place. And with the two fuel lines reattached and the two electrical connectors reattached, you're ready to reinstall or secure the top plate to the fuel tank. Now just gently work this top plate into the fuel tank. Kind of have to wiggle it around a bit. And just press it into position. This top plate has a little tab right here that fits in a slot in the front of the fuel tank, and the top plate fits in like this. And then once you have that into position, you can reinstall your cam gear or your cam ring. On the top of this cam ring, it's labeled top right there. So make sure that this is pointing up when you put the cam ring into place. And you can work this into position and get your cam ring installer and tighten this down. Now I'm ready to take my cam ring installer tool and tighten down that cam ring by turning it clockwise. Make sure that it's positioned correctly on the cam ring. And also make sure that you press down when you apply even pressure so this thing doesn't slip. And that's it. Here's the cam ring locked into position. Now I'm ready to reinstall this hose and this electrical connector that I took off earlier. And I'm ready to start the bike and just make sure that everything's working correctly. Now before I reinstall anything else, I'm going to reinstall my maxi fuse and turn the bike on and start it up and just make sure everything's working before I assemble anything else. So reinstalling the maxi fuse, and I'm going to start the bike up. So everything appears to be working correctly. I'm not going to videotape putting the console back on or the seat or the bags. It's just a reverse of the disassembly. But after I get all that put back together, I'm going to take the bike out for a test drive, just make sure that everything is working the way it should be. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer them. Hope you enjoyed the video. Ride hard, and thanks for watching.